and then they go flying into that car over there. And then adding some gas. On this video, I'm going to show you how to do parking in really difficult areas and difficult spots. And because I like to make the things fun for you guys, let's do another competition where you guys can win some prizes. So let me know in the comments how many times do I say the word slow, and if you get the answer right, you can win a prize. And this person was the last winner, so make sure you pay attention to the comments. I'm going to reply to you so that you can claim your prize. Otherwise, let's get into the video. So right now I'm going to try park on the curb. I'm going to park half on and half off. This can be quite tricky if you ain't done it before. The first thing you want to avoid is going there too fast. So if you go there too fast and you hit the curb at this sort of speed, especially if it's high, you could end up bursting the tire. So you want to make sure that you approach it slowly. Okay, so approach it slowly, and then once you get near the curb, you're going to feel the car hitting the curb like this. So now it's hit the curb. The hard part now is getting it over the curb without going too fast. Okay, so if I bring my clutch up just to there, if your car is quite weak and hasn't got a strong clutch, you might want to use the gas here as well. So get the biting point, and you're going to feel it fighting a bit, and then so there, if it's not enough, it's not going to work. So bring the clutch a bit higher, and then it's going to work. And you notice that when I did that, just as I got over the curb, I put my clutch down, because if you keep the clutch up, that's going to be too much power, and your car's going to go flying into the wall or into another vehicle behind you. The back wheel is now on the curb. Now I've got to worry about the front wheel coming on the curb now. This can be hard if I don't do it properly. So again, it's the same thing where I got my biting point and then adding some gas, give some power. Because if I don't do that, if I don't give it enough power, it's not going to go up the curb. And if you're driving one of those cars that's got a weak clutch, this is not going to work. So in that case, you are going to need add some gas in the background as well. So you see the gas is going up, and then once I go up the curb, clutch down straight away. You're going to feel the car go up, and then when it does that, clutch down straight away so that your car doesn't go flying too fast backwards or into the wall. So now I've got both my left wheel, the front and the back on the curb. It's just a matter now of straightening up. This part is simple because it's just a matter of getting it straightened out, checking my mirror to see if I'm in the bay, and then I can secure the car. So in terms of steering, it's going to be the same as normal parallel parking. If you want to check out how to do that, watch this video here. The thing that's difficult here is controlling the clutch when you're going over the curb. Firstly, don't go too fast when you approach to the curb, and then secondly, when you get to the curb, you want to add some gas in there so that your car can push up over the curb. And when it does that, put your clutch straight down so you don't go too fast flying. So parallel parking is hard enough, but when you're going uphill, it makes it even more challenging, because now you got to control the car so that you don't go forward, and so that you don't go too fast back, and also so that you don't stall. Let me show you what I mean. I know some of you can't tell that this is a hill, so let me show you. As soon as I come off the brake, you see the car goes forward because it's going downhill. Now to reverse uphill, I want to make sure I get the biting point first, because if I don't, the car is going to roll forward and then I'm going to have to catch it. So the best thing to do is get the biting point first, and then do your checks, and then add some gas and bring the clutch up smoothly. And some cars, you don't need any gas. Like this car can handle it without any gas, but it's still struggling a bit because it's quite a steep hill. So in that case, I'm going to add a bit of gas. This technique works with every car. And you're going to hear some people say, but this is riding the clutch, you're going to burn the clutch out. And this is true if you use too much gas. Like if I was to use this much gas here like that, and then bring it at the biting point, that's going to burn the clutch eventually. But just this much gas, just above 1000 RPMs, is going to be okay. And also, when I'm slowing down, you notice I'm not bringing the clutch all the way down, because if I do that, you see, the car goes forward, and I don't need to be rocking back and forth. So when I'm controlling it now, let's say I'm trying to slow down, I come off the gas and then bring the clutch down a tiny bit, and then biting point again, add some gas, and then off the gas, clutch down a tiny bit, just to the biting point so that it doesn't roll forward and it doesn't go back too fast. And you might hear some people say, oh, why don't you just keep it the same point on the clutch? Because that way, you see, it's going to go too fast, especially if you're not experienced. So if you're quite new to reversing or new to driving a manual car, the easiest way to control your speed, especially uphill or any place actually, is just to bring the clutch up a bit and then down. Up a little bit and then down. And what I'm doing is I'm keeping an eye on my steering as well, so that I don't go too far towards the curb, and looking around the whole time. And again, controlling the clutch so that I don't go too fast, and also so that I don't roll forward as well. And then once it's time for me to stop, normally when you're going slowly or when you reverse, you want to put your clutch down first and then stop. But let me show you what happens when I do that. So if I put my clutch down first, you see the car goes forward. I don't want that. So in this time, instead of putting my clutch down first, I'm going to brake first and then clutch down. This way, the car doesn't roll forward, and I've got it nicely controlled. Okay, so now that I've got it stopped, I can put it into neutral and handbrake on. But because it's so steep, you see the car is still rolling forward. Here, when you put your handbrake, you want to make sure you put it on more than usual. This way, the car is nicely secured. And one more step you could actually do is, once you've turned the engine off, is to leave it in reverse. This way, if let's say your handbrake fails or something happens with your car, you see, the car's not going to go anywhere. So right now the handbrake is down, but the car is in reverse, and therefore when it tries to go downhill, reverse gear is stopping it from rolling down the hill. So most people, when they're doing their driving lessons, they're taught to parallel park with lots of space, usually with 2 car lengths to play with. But in real life, or if you're in a place where there's not much parking, you're going to have to park in between 2 cars a lot of the times, and I'm going to show you how to do that now properly. So because this is a tight spot, I'm going to have to do a lot of steering quite early on as well. So normally when you've got 2 car lengths to play with, you'd reverse until your mirror is in the middle of that car, and then you turn. But here, there's not enough space to do that. We want to get the back of the car into the space as soon as possible without touching this car as well. So we'll do our checks, and then we're going to do a big turn to the left, because there's not much room to play with here. A big turn to the left, so this way the back of the car starts going in towards the left. And we want to watch out for these cars on this side as well, because we don't want to go so far that we scratch this car on this side. And once we get the car in, we can actually start turning a bit towards the right now. And I'm seeing in the mirror there, it's getting quite close to the curb. So then I'm going to do a big turn towards the right. And I can see on this side as well, my car is going towards the car behind us as well. Now that the car's going downhill because of the way the road is shaped, I'll put my clutch down and then control my speed with my brake. And because there's not a little space here, I'm not too worried about touching the curb. Sometimes you want that actually, just so you can see where the car is in relation to the curb. Looking behind me as well, so I don't make sure I don't touch that car there. And then I don't think I'm going to touch the curb, but if I did, it would be okay. So now the front of the car is touching the curb. Put my clutch down, go into first. And in this kind of spots, you probably want to dry steer as well. Normally I don't encourage dry steering, but because there's not much room here, you probably want to do a bit of dry steering. Otherwise, if you try to turn while your car's moving, your car's going to go too far out. So do a bit of dry steering and get it into the right position. Once you're in, handbrake on, neutral, and then relax. So that's how you park in a really tight spot. And don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to touch the curb a little bit as well. And don't be afraid as well to come out a bit if you've made a mistake. So people think you have to park first time perfectly straight away. In tight spots like this, you might have to come out maybe once or twice just to make sure you get it right. And when you're doing this kind of parking, this is the last place that you want to be going fast. You want to make sure you do it nice and slow so that you don't lose control and so that you don't hit your car into another car or into the curb. Now, when it comes to coming out, if you can, reverse a little bit. So look around and then reverse using clutch control and a bit of gas if you need it, but not too much, because you don't want to go too fast here because the car behind us is very close. And if you can't see how close it is, you can just stop and don't risk it and crash into it. And if you're not familiar with where the end of your car finishes, stop somewhere and then walk outside, have a look, and then you can kind of gauge how much space you have for the next time. And so now that you've got your car reversed a little bit, you want to come out of here nice and slowly. Now the mistake that lots of people make here is they'll put the clutch up too high like this, and then they go flying into that car over there, and they waste that space that they've just created as well. So to control this properly, make sure that you don't go above the biting point, okay? Or you don't go too high above the biting point. So get the clutch to the biting point, do your checks, and then just around there, maybe down a tiny bit around the biting point, and then down with lots of steering as well. Yeah, I'm going really slowly here, controlling the car with my clutch. And then once I get to like around here, I'm still controlling it. I'm not bringing my clutch up yet, because you see a lot of people, they'll bring the clutch up now and the car will go flying. Once it's straight like this, then I can bring my clutch up and add more gas. When it comes to bay parking in between 2 cars, I would always recommend that you do it in reverse, but you can do it going forward as well. And the mistake that people make on this kind of situation is they start too close to the cars, and then when they turn in, they have no room to do the maneuver. They're going to get either too close to this car or too close to that car, and then they end up struggling. Now the key to this is firstly starting really wide. Let me show you what I mean. So just now I started too close to the cars, I started too far to the right. This time I'm going to move as much left as possible, and then when it's time for me to turn, let me put a signal on as well. Now it looks like I'm aiming for the other bay over there, but actually when I turn, I will end up in this bay here. Yeah, so nice and wide, really slowly as well, really slowly as well. And then once I get in like this, you see now my car's already had time to straighten up, and then I can just go in smoothly, checking both sides to make sure that I'm in the bay properly, and then clutch down all the way, brake, handbrake, and secure the car. So don't start too close to the bays, start really wide and then turn sharply. And you saw the whole time I was using clutch control to go slowly. And then on the way out now, this can be tricky as well, but you want to make sure that you reverse slowly using the clutch control. And right now I don't need any gas because my clutch is doing the job by itself without any problems. And then when I go out enough, I can turn. Some people will turn too early, like around here. They'll start trying to turn here, and if I do that, I'm gonna scratch this car next to me. Instead of doing it like that, I'm gonna make sure I reverse out of the bay fully so that the front of my car is outside of the bay, and then I'll do my turn. And this way I don't risk scratching that car, and I don't risk damaging my car either.